Which of these drinks sounds the most appealing?
I think I already know my answer.
Black Widow, Black Devil, or Liquefied Ghost?
I'm gonna say Black Devil.
Yeah, Black Devil.
Black Widow. That's mine.
I mean,
Liquefied Ghost
Widow.
for me. That's actually shocking.
Black Devil's the one that everybody has majority of. I'm fine with that too.
You know,
Yeah.
We'll get through all of them
Just
over the
Black
weeks,
Widow
but I just want to make
just
one
struck
per
me. I thought
episode.
that was really pretty.
But we had
I can
double
go Black Widow. Let's do it. Fuck yeah.
You sure?
Hmm?
All right.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Alright.
Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
Green guy, dude.
Yep.
Black Widow it is.
Yesterday I watched Cult of Chucky.
Fun.
That
That's
was
a new
fantastic.
one, isn't it?
Yeah, Netflix.
That's the one with the continuation with Nikki, isn't it?
Is that her name?
Nikki's the main character, the chick in the wheelchair.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was really good. So they bring in some really weird elements of the story. Chucky is able to use voodoo magic to create other Chuckies,
Holy shit.
and apparently he's able to do that to other people too. Or people, rather.
Well, I remember there was a controversy with the first movie that a lot of people didn't like. It was the fact that Chucky whispered his lines. He wasn't flamboyant like he usually is. Is this the same for this one?
No, not at all. I mean, this is extremely flamboyant. No, I enjoyed that quite a bit though, and I was really glad to see that it wasn't terrible. Because, you know, some of the other ones, like Seed of Chucky,
Yes.
that was such a massive
Well.
disappointment. I couldn't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. But let's see, other than that, I watched House on Haunted Hill,
Which one?
the original. Of course, not
Yes.
the 90s. No, I'm
the
not.
Vincent Price one.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
The William Castle.
Yes. And what did you think? Is this your first time watching it, or?
Oh, it's like my 10th time.
Okay,
I've
good.
seen this movie many
yeah,
times,
for
yeah.
sure, for
No.
sure. I don't know about
I
any of
still-
the rest of you, but this is a great movie.
I still really like the plot.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, there are characters in the movie, just more than I can say for the remake. I have a hard time not to just like trash talk the remake when talking about the original.
No, but go for it.
But yeah, No, it was really interesting because I did a whole lot of research on William Castle's gimmicks.
Oh,
So I'd known that, you know, he was notorious for that. And I knew that there was something about House on Haunted Hill that was, you know, some kind of a gimmick they used. And so I found that online. Apparently William Castle would, at these showings, he would have a flying skeleton that he would, get into the audience.
Okay.
And
neat.
so, I did a little bit more research on some of his other gimmicks. And there was one called Maniac. I think it was 61 or 62. And it's kind of a Psycho rehash.
Interesting.
He was inspired by Psycho, of course.
Everyone
I mean,
was
it's
at
William
that time.
Castle. Right, yeah, but William Castle's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
he likes to rehash things. Very much a B-movie kind of guy. But anyway, so there was this disclaimer that you could get your money back if you left before the climax. And at the climax, William Castle did this voiceover. And this voiceover was just like, shit's about to hit the fan. Leave if you can't handle this. And it counts backwards, I think from 60 seconds up until the climax happens. And what you had to do is if you actually felt like you couldn't handle it, you had to take this card you had with you, and it was yellow. And there was this aisle that was lit in yellow as well. And you had to walk up to it, and you had to walk up to this nurse who would take your blood pressure. And she would punch your coward card. And then you had to go around to other people, and like everyone in the audience could see you, right? So you're just humiliating yourself
No kidding.
to get your money back for the movie. And it got to the point where people wouldn't do it, so they had to have plants in the audience to do it. I don't know, it was really cool.
That is amazing.
Uh-huh.
I went to go see the It movie. there were girls left and right screaming. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Having to do that coward card nowadays with all these like lame rehashes of some. Not saying that it was lame. It was fantastic.
Right.
But you know, with that whole idea in mind, could you imagine someone having to come up and punch my coward card? I can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the paranormal activity movies and anything from Blumhouse that makes people shit their pants.
No, those are two things I like to forget exist.
Yeah.
I'm glad drinks are coming because
Yeah.
I drink to forget
no
Blumhouse.
kidding. Okay.
Alright. I only have 2 of these fancy skull glasses.
Oh my.
Since
Oh,
somebody gets one of those, everybody else will get the little cordial glasses.
Gerald's Way. Have you heard about this new Netflix original?
Are you talking about Gerald's Game?
Game.
Yeah, it's
I
a
have
Stephen
said
King.
it wrong.
No,
so
it's
many
okay.
times.
It's
Oh,
Gerald's
yes,
Game. It's
Gerald's
a
Game.
really good kind of lesser known Stephen King movie, but go ahead.
Movie or
Or
book?
book, sorry.
I was gonna
Book,
say.
book. You know what I meant.
Because I haven't read the book, but that's not a good movie. So, alright, for the first 2/3 of it, I was relatively compelled. The problem was, it goes right into Saw mode. There's a scene where she
really?
has to, take skin off of her hand to get out of these handcuffs.
Uh-huh.
And it's the most illogical way to get your hand out of handcuffs. Like, you would want to break bones before you, peel skin off? That doesn't make your hand that much smaller.
No,
And also, it's peeled upwards. So as you're doing this, you're just making it worse.
right.
While you're, I don't know, it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you start learning more and more about how the main character was molested. Or rather, no, it's more gray, it's more blurry. She was watching the solar eclipse with her father, and
How timely.
he got super nostalgic and was like, oh, I wish you were a little girl again, and blah, blah, blah. This was when she was, 10, 11. And so he's like, come sit on daddy's lap, come on.
I don't like where this is going.
And then she's sitting on his lap watching the eclipse, and then he starts masturbating furiously. And after
That's what you do, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a natural reaction.
And so, the whole movie is, her talking to these projections of herself and her dead husband.
Uh-huh.
And so she's talking to them, and they're like, well, maybe you like that a little bit. What else did he do? And she's like, talking about how something else happened in the bedroom later on. And it builds it up like she's going to get raped or something like that. And he just has to talk with her. Except it's all about how she needs to not tell anybody about what happened.
Right. So I don't know if we're going to spoiler territory or anything like that.
Go
Oh,
for it.
spoiler
It doesn't
territory
matter.
is something that I'm
Okay.
actually completely okay with because
Okay.
nobody needs to see this movie
Alright.
Unless you're really into bad films. And then,
I've heard that actually on the opposite spectrum that this was a decent film.
it's got an
It was-
82% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't get it.
Well, the thing is because it's that slow build with tension.
Yeah, but
And some people, that's a make or break for some people with horror movies. Did it have the dog?
it did. Yeah, the dog did eat.
What did the dog do?
Ate bits and pieces of the husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the dog ever talk?
No, it did not.
No!
No.
Well, I guess it would be really cheesy if it actually talked, but the dog talks in the book.
See, that would have fit tonally with the end.
Yeah.
But the end was it basically shifts into lifetime mode.
Oh, okay.
They start doing voiceover,
Okay.
and that lasts for about 15 full minutes, where they explain everything that happens afterward, and then she confronts the Mongoloid serial killer thing at his trial,
Oh, okay.
and it's supposed to be this big empowering moment, and he repeats something she said before, and it means nothing. It's stupid. And it's excruciatingly stereotypical, almost offensive.
Really?
I
Jeez.
hated it. But more than anything, they even switched these filters that make it look like a Lifetime movie. It's so
Oh,
weird.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah. And I have no
Huh.
idea how this has any
Interesting.
kind of critical acclaim. I'm just shocked.
Does it do the typical Stephen King thing where the first like 2/3 are engaging and entertaining, and then the ending disappoints severely.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it
Every
is.
Stephen King.
I mean, the first
whatever,
2/3
almost.
are a remake of Misery, essentially.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So she's
it's a
chained
single
to the
setting
bed.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, it's
And
just,
she's
it's all
trying
over
to
the
get
map.
out. And,
Yeah. But then again, like I'm not really a big fan of the way Stephen King brings things back to like childhood trauma, or
It's kind of
Alcoholism.
vicious.
familial issues, alcoholism. For me, that was one of the big reasons that I was not as much of a fan of the book The Shining as the movie.
Yeah, the movie's
Not the miniseries.
beautiful.
The movie.
Yeah, no.
The miniseries that purely focuses
Movies.
on.
I much
TV
prefer Jack
shows.
as a psychotic person.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is
look
wonderful.
how pretty.
Thank you, sir.
Look at that and a little skull glass.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Oh wow, I enjoy this.
You're not worthy.
We are not worthy.
Oh, we have to wait for Luke, of course.
Cheers.
Mwah. Cheers. Robert.
There we go.
Just OCD.
Can't leave anybody out.
That's really good.
Oh boy, that is something. That's good.
Because Braxton downs half of it. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just following suit.
Yeah.
It is technically supposed to be a shot. I didn't really measure it,
Mm.
but
It's a little bit more difficult to drink from a skull.
true.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
Do we
But-
Excuse is excuse.
Yeah.
It's cranberry pomegranate juice chilled
Mm-hmm.
with black vodka layered on top and a cherry.
That is
Nice.
delicious beer.
It looks really cool, and even sipping it, yeah, you get the vodka up front,
Mm-hmm.
but it does get some of the flavor, and then as you drink down, it gets sweeter.
Nice.
That is wonderful.
Andrew, did you watch anything last night after you got home from Blade Runner?
I did not. Instead, I made a lengthy not too lengthy Facebook post. I basically said, this is the day where I decide to shirk the entire concept of the month and watch Blade Runner, and then I talk about how amazing it is, and then I said in the next couple weeks, if you need me, you can find me one of two places. The first is in a movie theater watching Blade Runner. The second is on a street corner panhandling for money to go watch Blade Runner.
I actually did watch a movie when I got home then. I don't know why, but I did. It was awful.
It was awful.
It was called Autopsy. It's from 2008.
Wait, is that the one that's just like an autopsy?
No.
No, that was...
No, this is a bad movie
Wasn't that
about
Ribbon
a
or something like
psychotic hospital, and this doctor is doing these weird things. And
I've seen this.
the doctor is played by the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Yes, I remember this.
Is this a sci-fi original movie?
No,
Not quite,
It's,
no.
it's something else. But it had some decent gore effects. It was some good body
Really?
horror in there.
Good.
It was just really lame. It was exactly what you'd expect of a bad horror movie. Characters who do stupid things for no good reason, and
Of course.
although they kind of there were some moments that just kind of struck me. There's this scene where the doctor he at first appears fairly normal, fairly sane. He's talking to this girl, treating her like a real patient, and then asks her to lie on her side, and he's going to do a lumbar puncture and take some spinal fluid. Just out of nowhere, just like, I need to do this. And he's like, what? No, you don't need to do. Yes, I do. If you knew medicine, you would know that this is the only option. So he just does it. No alcohol swab or anything.
Oh my
Pull-
gosh.
Pulls out some spinal fluid, puts it in this beaker, and he's kind of examining it. And then he does this thing where he kind of like looks around, even though there's no one else in there, but he still does the look around like, is anybody watching?
Does he
And he
drink
takes a
it? Oh
drink.
my gosh. Oh my
Just the look on
goodness.
his face, this little smirk, he's just like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Does he get superpowers?
No, it's just something
He
he
just
wanted to
enjoys
do.
it. He likes it.
Yeah, but there's
What
all
does
these
that
weird
taste
little moments, and then it all leads up.
know.
It all leads up to this to the big reveal of like the ultimate body horror that they came up with for this one at the end. The girl finds her boyfriend, who she's been trying to find in this hospital the whole movie. She hears his voice. He's still awake. He's still alive. You can tell that there's like blood all around him. She turns the lights on. His chest is open. His body is empty. All of his organs are hanging in
This
this
is
like
bullshit.
menage above him, all still like strung together and connected to him.
Bullshit. Bunch of
Well,
bullshit.
yeah,
I
obviously.
love it though. It's wonderful.
It's just this hanging this mobile of his organs just hanging above him.
Wow.
With this empty chest, he's still looking around. He can still breathe and everything because his lungs are still connected. They're just way up here. Yeah.
But that sounds wonderful. All right, Braxton or Robert?
What do you want?
Have you seen any horror movies lately?
What do I want from
Any
you?
movies? Yeah.
I haven't watched any horror movies recently.
Nothing at all?
No.
That's horrible.
Okay,
Wow.
so
You're a bad person.
yeah,
I
what
know.
the heck were you doing here?
I don't know. Really, actually, I'm kind of confused.
Okay, so
It's
Here's
okay
a different
to confuse
question.
somebody.
have you seen anything that you would suggest to somebody that was horror movie related, that stuck with you, that you like?
I guess the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Yeah? Which
Yeah.
one in particular?
I don't know.
Manhunter, right? Like a hipster.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, go with the original.
What?
Well,
No. Do
Yeah.
not discount Michael Mann in front of me.
fine, I'm
Manhunter was the
sorry.
original.
It's true.
I'm
It is true.
sorry.
Brian Cox, come on.
I enjoy.
Did anybody ever see the young Hannibal story
Hannibal
TV
Rising?
show? Yeah.
Yeah, not the TV show, but Hannibal Rising, yeah.
My friend
It
told
was
me a lot
bad.
about it, but I
Yeah.
didn't particularly have an interest to seek it out.
It's not good. It's not fun watching.
It
It's not.
seemed
It doesn't
like-
add anything to his backstory.
Yeah, it seemed kind of like a cheesy kind of, let's do this sort of thing for a TV series, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know. It didn't really appeal to me.
it was just bad
Yeah.
all around. You had better
Braxton?
friends than I did.
Have you seen anything lately?
I went on Google Play and watched The Thing from Another World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Opinions?
Hey.
Oh. Pretty straightforward. Not much to it, honestly. I mean, alien crashes on planet. Of course, it's here to harvest humans.
Of course.
We kill it. Go humans.
Go humans.
Humans!
Yeah.
Yes!
You
Am I
know-
human? Wait.
No, you did that right. It's this, right? Humans.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
No.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So I suppose it's my turn to review my movie.
Sure.
Okay, so mine, I have to kind of put a thank you to the horror guru and Count Jacula for kind of recommending this movie to me. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, with those
Oh, yeah.
two people.
I am.
They are wonderful people. I enjoy them. But I have to thank them for kind of sharing this one with me. I discovered it when I was in college, but I never got the chance to watch it. It was just kind of sitting in my movie recommendations. It was called Holidays, and it was an anthology movie. Did you see it?
I have. I've
Okay.
seen this.
I really enjoyed parts of it.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Well, it's an anthology movie. That's exactly what you
Yes,
expect.
but the movie started out on a good note. I enjoyed the first one, Valentine's Day. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
That one made me happy, not only because it had like a swim team homage in it, because I've been a swimmer for a really long time, but it had this Carrie vibe, and I love Carrie. There's this chick that was getting picked on and being called Maxie Pad. Her name was Maxine, and she loves her teacher that needs, that he needs a heart transplant, and there's this chick that keeps on bothering her, and she decides to take matters into her own hands and help out her teacher. It was very cute. I enjoyed that. Very sweet, in a weird psychotic way. But that was such a fun little, homage, and it reminded me of, the Tales from the Crypt. Just so corny, cheesy, but it was amazing. Lots of humor thrown into there. The third one, the Easter one, kinda made me feel awkward. It's very awkward, only because it has kind of me being who I am, I don't like that. It's very sacrilegious. But I will give it the positive. It had beautiful creature effects.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that great creature effects in quite a while. It was very good, the way they made the chicks pop out of the hand. That was amazing. Holy crap. And the creepy, I think it did exactly what it needed to do. It made you feel fucking uncomfortable with not only the creepiness of the creature, but also just, this isn't right.
I think that's right about the point where I fell asleep.
Really?
No joke, yeah. I fell asleep during that one. This also, it's starting to sound unfamiliar.
Yeah.
I recognized everything up until that.
I feel like there should be some final thought kind of go around. I don't know how to end it.
Could make it into a haiku.
God. Ugh.
No. I would never do that. Fuck haikus.
Okay. Braxton,
Yeah.
what was the worst part of the movie you watched? Of any of the movies you watched? What did you absolutely hate?
What I hate.
All of it can be an answer.
It was a 50s film about space aliens, so it was all kind of just ugh. But they would constantly kind of recycle the dialogue constantly, because they would have one scene where they were talking about what they're going to do, and then the guys would just repeat what they're going to do to the other people. I guess that's my complaint.
Alright.
Okay, my complaint about my movie, Holidays. Probably would end up being, not the Easter one made me uncomfortable, but the one that I'd probably say was the worst was the Halloween one, because it had nothing to do with Halloween, and it was a Kevin Smith part.
Well, the whole thing was
Well,
curated by Kevin Smith.
Well, yeah, but this was actually directed by him, and it had nothing to do with Halloween. It was very much lost potential. When you have a horror movie, Halloween should be your main fun one that you should have fun with. So I'd have to say that one was the one that really, it kind of gave me a bad taste.
Yeah, so 2 big takeaways from this month. First is Geralds Game is terrible, and I don't care who says otherwise, including Rotten Tomatoes. All those critics can, I invalidate all of their opinions. But really the worst part of this month for me has been having to leave the theater after Blade Runner 2049. That was hard. I have a problem.
Anything?
Nah, I don't know if it is.
Is there a stem there? Can you tie it into a knot with your...
No, not really.
Yeah.
Butterfly Effect 3 is not a horror film. Get that through your head, After Dark Films. It was in a curated disc of horror movies. Does not belong. My biggest takeaway from the movie was this guy is really bad at his job.
What?
Because the entire thing was just him constantly fucking up. Every time he went back in time, it was like, oh shit, I already messed up. Literally 2 seconds into his first jump, he screws everything up. He sucks at his job.
Wow.